Hey Duke artists, it's Mrs. LaBeouf. This is the first in a series of videos to help you learn to weave at home or at school. This first video will show you how to set up your loom. This is a cardboard loom. It's a rectangle shape, and as you can see, it has notches that are already cut at the top and at the bottom of the cardboard. You're going to be using this to set up your weaving. Fifth graders will be using a larger sized loom, and fourth graders are going to be using a smaller rectangle loom with notches on both ends. You can make a loom at home for weaving with the help from your parents. Just get a piece of sturdy cardboard and measure and cut notches on both ends of the cardboard rectangle.
Okay, so if you're wondering how much yarn you should use, just like that. So take it from one end and just go all the way until it's, I dropped it, until it's like that. So how long your arm is how long you should use it.
And then you just cut the yarn.
Yeah, you just cut it right there.
Now I'm going to show you how to set your loom up with yarn. Choose a color of yarn that's different from the colors that you're going to be weaving with. I'm going to use this bright gold to set up my loom. I'm going to pull a little bit of yarn out, and I'm going to attach it to the top of the loom by pulling it through the first notch. You might have to loosen the notch up just a little bit to get your yarn to go in that hole. Secondly, you're going to pull this down, not too tight, and you're going to put it through the first notch on the bottom. Now I'm going to go around the back side. I'm going to skip 2 notches. Loosen this up, and from the back, I'm going to pull the yarn through this notch and back up to the top, skipping 2 notches and putting it through just like that. And I'm going to keep going across until I have gone to the end of the loom. You want to make sure that you have an even number of strings on your loom. These strings are called warp strings, and you want your warp strings to be an even number. This will help you with the patterns when you're weaving to know that you're always going to start in one specific way, either over or under, when you begin weaving on each side. This will become more clear in the next video. So I'm going to keep going until I finish threading the warp on my loom. When you get to the end, your yarn should stay on the loom because these little notches are pretty tight, so it should hold them in place just fine. Around the back, in between the notches, and back over the front side. When I get finished with this, you'll see that there are no warp threads on the back of my loom. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's an odd number. I'd like for it to be even, so I'm going to pull this last one off. And I'm just going to cut my yarn right here and leave this piece hanging. You can tape it down if you'd like, but it's not necessary. Okay, I'm going to be trimming the end of the yarn. And I'm going to use a small piece of tape to tape this piece down so it doesn't unravel while I'm weaving. You don't have to do this, but it's helpful. On the back side of my loom, you'll see there's no warp threads. And I'm just going to tape a piece down, this end piece down on the back to keep it from fraying. So now my loom is set up and I'm ready to weave.